thrilled to be joined by Kenzie, Lalonde, and Chris Johnston, our hockey insider. And I want to get both of your thoughts on this one. And Kenzie, I'll start with you because you're in that building a lot covering the Habs all year round. You hear a great crowd all the time cheering on the Habs. What about the atmosphere on Wednesday night, though? That must have been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Jay, it was electric. But as you mentioned, I'm in this rink a little bit, and we've had some loud evenings already this season for the Montreal Canadiens. I just think a few weeks ago, Marc-Andre Fleury's last game here at the Bell Centre and his tribute of a season that he's having, that was pretty loud. I also think of when Patrick Roy was in town behind the bench for the first time with the New York Islanders. This place erupted. They put his face on towards the end of the national anthem. I don't know if it was as loud, but this place came alive. You heard the starting lineup being announced for Team Canada, Sidney Crosby. This place erupted. And right when you think that was as loud as the rink was going to get, out came Mario Lemieux for this opening ceremony moment that they had, and this place just kept going and going and going. And then the Mario chant started. So to me, when you think of the energy in this rink, Mitch Marner's overtime goal certainly brought this place to another level. I'll always remember the standing ovation we had for Mario Lemieux when the game just started.
Bucket list. If you're a hockey fan, you got to come to this arena. I mean, for me, I've always said it's like going to the Vatican if you're a Catholic. I didn't grow up a Canadiens fan. Sidney Crosby did, by the way. And one thing to mention, Jay, he took the optional morning skate with Team Canada today, and he was asked afterwards why, and he said, you know, this is an arena you just want to skate in. Like, that was when there was no fans. You can only imagine how he felt walking out after this night.
Now, CJ, I got to talk to you about the fact that Shea Theodore is out for the tournament after taking that hit from Adrian Kempe in this game. Overall, we know Travis Sanheim will now draw in, but what does it mean overall for the makeup of the roster, CJ?
Yeah, this is about the worst case scenario you can imagine. The guy plays 6 minutes, long way to come from Vegas and the Golden Knights for Shea Theodore, and unfortunately gets injured, done for the tournament right away. And because of the rules, initially they were going to have it so that no players could be added in the tournament. A week or two ago, just before the event went, there was a memo from the league to the GMs, and essentially this is what happens. If any team drops below 18 healthy skaters, they can add another skater. If you drop below 2 healthy goalies, you can add a goaltender. This is in tournament. But Canada, of course, had 2 extra players on this night. You had Sanheim and also Sam Bennett. And so I don't want to will this into the universe, but if they were to lose another defenseman, they'd be in a position where they couldn't add another one. They would have 5 healthy defensemen then and 13 forwards. So not what you want.
McDavid made a good point in his post-game presser talking about how he was just blown away with how the 5 defenders out there handled the responsibility because this is best on best. And you just said with the energy and intensity this game had, McDavid just kind of tipped his hat to the guys and the way that they were able to rally and fill in for Theodore tonight.
Makes me think that maybe Canada should have taken Brent Burns, you know, someone who can play forward and defense. But that's for another time, guys. Nova Scotia, wow, what a night for Nova Scotia. Well represented. McKinnon, Marchand, a goal each. Crosby, 3 assists. After the game, Kenzie, what were the players saying about the Nova Scotia Effect?
Hey, Jay, it was a kitchen party. You know I love a kitchen party. You know the players do, too. And in the first period, all 3 of those guys got on the board. And in particular, for me, Nathan McKinnon's first period, he led the team in hits. He just had this extra edge to his game tonight. Of course, it was certainly Crosby's night, but I really think Nathan McKinnon is building something really special here when he wears this maple leaf. The next phase of this, Brad Marchand. How about bringing the Bell Centre to their feet to cheer for Brad Marchand? We'll see how many more games we have that in his career here in this tournament. A special night for him. And then, of course, Crosby, the way he was able to connect with McKinnon consistently on their line. But, of course, that power play. It took them 12 seconds into that top unit power play to capitalize back in the first period. These 2 guys, McKinnon, Crosby, they're building something really special.
And how does that province punch above its weight class? There's only 12 players in the NHL from Nova Scotia, and 3 of them are on this team. And
2 of them are from Cole Harbour.
Exactly. I mean, there must be something in the water. We used to say about that town in northern Sweden.
It's the Donair sauce, CJ. It's the Donair sauce. That's what I'll say.
It's that sweet sauce. It's Pizza Corner. That's what does it, for sure, 100%. CJ, I wanted to ask you about the overtime because it was awesome. And it's a 10-minuter, and I know a lot of people on social media were saying, well, why doesn't the NHL go from a 5-minuter to a 10-minute overtime? But there is a reason for that, right, CJ? Some people want it, but the PA is pushed back.
Yeah, there has been that discussion in the past. In the NHL, the discussion that I was aware of was about a 7-minute overtime, perhaps extending it just a little beyond 5. The PA is worried because obviously most teams just roll out their top, say 4 or 6 players in an overtime period. It's a lot to ask of those guys, but I will leave you with a little bit of hope. I think the league intentionally is trying a few new things here just to see if they like it, right? This is the absolute first game we've ever seen with NHL caliber players that went beyond the 5 minutes at 3-on-3. You know, Nathan McKinnon, for one, said he was gassed with all the shifts he was playing in that period. But, you know, I do wonder if it does pick up some steam here. The other one is it's 3 points for regulation win, 2 for an overtime win, 1 for an overtime or shootout loss in this tournament. I wonder if at one point that could be in the NHL standings. I mean, I'm not saying it goes right from here to there, you know, from one line to the other, but certainly I do think they want to get a look at it,
Yep.
and let's see where the conversation goes next.